This video is going to be a review of the information we practiced in prime time. Be sure to put the date at the top and the topic, which is prime time review. The essential question for this video: how do we find factors and multiples, and how do we use them? Since this is a review, there will be some questions here today that you'll want to try to solve first, right, before you see the answer. So there'll be a series of questions. You'll want to pause the video, try it out, and then see how you did. Let's start by doing a quick review of factors and multiples with a couple quick practice problems. First up, list the factors of 16. Then, list the factors of 32. List the first 5 multiples of 12. And list the first 5 multiples of 16. This will be a good quick practice of factors and multiples. How'd you do? Sometimes we need to find the factors and multiples that a set of numbers have in common. We can demonstrate those common numbers visually in a Venn diagram. Practice using a Venn diagram to show the first 5 multiples of 12 and 16. Right? Look at your list from 12 and 16 and fill in the Venn diagram so that you have the 12 multiples of 12, the multiples of 16, and anything that they might have in common in the Venn diagram. In our Venn diagram, we should be able to show that 48 is a common multiple, and in fact is the least common multiple of 12 and 16. Sometimes we need to use factors or multiples to solve real-life problems. Multiples help us when 2 or more events happen at the same time. This is like the Ferris wheel problem. Factors help us know how we can split even items into groups. This is more like the snack pack problem. I'm going to show you 2 questions. You'll need to use either factors or multiples to solve the following problems. Make sure you first decide whether this is similar to the Ferris wheel question and needs multiples, or whether it's more like the snack pack problem and will require factors. In these 2 questions, determine first whether it is factors or multiples, and then decide what your answer will be. You'll need to pause the video to read these over and to make sure that you have time to solve both problems. When you're ready, take your time. When you're ready, pause the video and come back and check your work. How'd you do? If these were confusing for you or if you chose incorrectly, make sure you go back through your notes from this unit and see how we solved similar problems. This unit, we also saw that we can look at factors through prime factorization. As a review, let's complete the prime factorization for the number 72. Take a moment to determine your answer. Even if you set up your tree differently, hopefully we all got the same answer. One way mathematicians like to record prime factorization, though, is with exponents. Rewrite the prime factorization of 72 with exponents. Again, if this is something that you have forgotten or you need a little bit more of a refresher on, make sure you check your notes. We have one more thing to try. Sometimes we work backwards and find a number from the prime factorization. For example, for what number is 2 to the power of 4 times 3 to the second power of prime factorization? Find your calculation and record your answer. How'd you do? What if we have someone named Thomas, right? And Thomas usually excels at math, but he struggles with exponents. And he says that 2 to the 4th power times 3 to the 2nd power is 48. Write down what you think he did incorrectly. Did you come up with a way to describe what Thomas did incorrectly? I just put a few notes down. You should have a nice, complete answer that explains your thinking and how you would describe his mistake. That covers a lot of what we did in this unit. Right? Remember, our essential question for this review was, how do we find factors and multiples, and how do we use them? Right? We saw lots of different ways to use factors and multiples and ways to find factors and multiples in this unit, and we'll be able to show off what we know in our assessment. Make sure you review anything that still might be confusing to you by looking back through your notes and watching any old videos to help clarify.